Hello, gorgeous ones. Dr. Lucy here, 8:06, tiny bit late this morning. I'm in the car, so I have dropped my daughter off at the bus stop because this morning's a bit of a multitasking morning with lots of competing demands, including me going to the petrol station on the way to work, which is something I really hate. It's funny, isn't it, how you hate little tasks like that? So a couple of things, darlings. Today is an interesting day for me, and I have recognized that this feeling is one of my vulnerable times. I call it a vulnerable time because I'm vulnerable to maybe having food that I don't want to eat. And the reason for that is I'm a little bit tired and I've just got a few things going on. Morning, gorgeous Susan. So when this happens, when we've got competing demands, and we often have a few stories in our heads. One of my stories at the moment is a little bit of mother guilt. I have a year 12 daughter. I told her I would help her with her lunches and all that sort of stuff, but I just haven't got around to it. It's just down the bottom of my list. So this morning she goes, Mum, you said you would help me. And I'm going, Anyway, I've sorted her out. But it's interesting, isn't it, how the stories in our brain start saying, oh my God, Lucy, you're a bad mother. You said you'd help her and you said you'd make her her lunch snacks, and you haven't done any of that. So when those sorts of thoughts start happening, we can start to feel a little bit bad about ourselves. So really important to be mindful of that. When we feel bad about ourselves, that's when we become more vulnerable to things like sugary food or savory chips or whatever, because we are looking for a little bit of dopamine to just balance out that negative feeling. The dopamine makes us feel good, balancing out that feeling that we've got of guilt, or, there can be lots of them, guilt or shame or any of those sorts of things. So that's one reason why I'm a bit vulnerable. And the second one is, as I said, I'm a little bit tired. As a lot of you know, we did launch our 12-week mind-body rebalance yesterday. The doors opened. We are totally thrilled with the response so far. We have 86 gorgeous peeps joining us, and the program starts on Sunday. So as part of the build up to that, of course, we're doing lots of Facebook Lives, lots of stuff on, just lots. So my cup's a little bit empty. I'm very mindful of that. This afternoon I have some scheduled rest time, so I'm looking forward to that. So when you combine empty cup with a little bit of mother guilt or anything else, any other uncomfortable feeling, then you are a lot more vulnerable to things that might be offered or just come your way. So just being mindful of that, being aware of that, is actually the first step to recognizing then how you can avoid falling off the wagon, or whatever that phrase is that people like. So for me, I am working a half day, which is fine. I always work a half day on Tuesday. I have with me some bone broth, which I will have at about 10 o'clock, so that, again, I've just got that little bit of warmth. And I always talk to my body about bone broth, about how lucky it is. It gets this beautiful replenishing food, like the sort of, nectar of the gods. When I have that, it makes me feel good. So that's sort of some of my strategies. Now, to let you darlings know, we have a lot on at the moment. So coming up, I've got my cooking show at 5 o'clock on this channel, on Real Life Medicine. Last time I accidentally posted it to my personal page. So, again, coming to terms with the fact that you can do things and sometimes they don't work out how you expect. Mary's doing a Ask Me Anything at 7 o'clock. I think it's 7 o'clock tonight, again, on this page. So if you've got any burning medical questions, again, she can't offer individual advice, but if you want to know anything like, what about cholesterol on a low-carb diet, or what about ketone measuring, or what about X, Y, and Z, she will be able to answer you. And then we have a new episode on our podcast. Okay, so the podcast is released every week, Tuesday, called Real Health and Weight Loss. It's on all the platforms. It really helps us, if you're listening, if you give us a rating. It just helps the podcast go further up the charts and really, I guess, spread the message, which is all we want to do. I mean, it's, we really just want to get Australia healthy. Hello, Alani, darling. Tonight I'm cooking what I call my Spanish eggs. It's not really eggs. There's a bit of mince and a bit of Spanish and a bit of something going on. It's probably got really Mexican. Anyway, I look forward to sharing it with you. As you know, I'm a flinger in the kitchen. So there'll be some flingling going on, and I will see you there. And the other thing that I do in the cooking show, because it's a bit longer, I like to have a conversation. And each week, I'm going to be touching on a topic that is often considered taboo. And part of taboo topics are that they are things that happen to everybody that make us feel ashamed or guilty. So for women, lots of taboo topics. Getting older. No one wants to get older. Don't know why, because the opposite is dead. Other taboo topics, continence. God, nobody talks about that, do they? There's going to be a whole lot of things. And I'm super looking forward to these. So I'll see you in the kitchen at 5. You can see Mary at 7. Or you can listen to us on the podcast. Goodbye, darlings. I'm off to work. I've got to go and get the petrol before I go. Bye, sweets.